ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्नवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामये। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतो पंगो मम मंदमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदर मोहनौ दिव्य वृंदारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा श्रील गोविंद देवो प्रेष्ठालीभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशी वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणु स्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। This is story of great wisdom and this is story of great austerity. It's called Glories of Bhagavatam. Our third story is Glories of Bhagavatam. So now that our great personality hero Parikshit Maharaj left, so we have to see now what are things left over. Of course, we have reserved few things from within Bhagavatam from tomorrow, but as far as today is concerned, few more important things about Bhagavatam itself, because ultimately this great scripture has brought the whole story of our great hero King Parikshit has brought. So let us see what else it talks about. So this Bhagavata Purana, so we are now going to hear the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam comes under Purana category. It is not where there are Vedas are divided, then the Panchama Veda, and we have Upanishads. So they are all different. They are all compiled by Vyasadeva only, and he has compiled Puranas also. So Puranas Vyasadeva has compiled and made Roma Harshana as in charge. Roma Harshana is in charge for all Puranas. And this Roma Harshana is having 6 students. They are called Trayaruni, Kashyapa, Savarni, Akrutavarna, Vaishampayana, Harita. So these 6 people, he took 6 students and he made all the 6 as acharyas for Puranas. Because Puranas are there, so many Puranas, Ashtadasha Purana are there. There are 18 Mahapuranas are there, 10 Gauna Puranas, there are so many Puranas. So one person cannot deal with that. Though Roma Harshana made in charge, he divided into 6 and 6 people are category. And interestingly, Suta Goswami learnt, he made Sisharika with all the 6. So the Roma Harshana is a single, he got 6, and below that Suta Goswami. So 1 to 6 and 6 to 1, it has happened. So that's why he has learnt very carefully with all people, and everybody was very much pleased with Suta Goswami, and they have given full blessing to him. And a Mahapurana means, as discussed in one of the stories, that it should have Dashalakshana. It should have 10 qualities, that is Srushti. They should be have Vishwa Srushti. First is, next all the planetary system and Jiva Srushti. Then comes the maintenance of all the living entities and their protection, and Manvantaras, and all the dynasties, and the Vamshanucharitam, and Vinasha, and Hetu, and Charamasraya, the Mukti Charamasraya. So these are all the 10 qualities, and Mahapuranas will have 10 qualities, whereas Alpa Gauna Puranas will have only 5 qualities in this way. And there are 18 Puranas, Mahapuranas. They are called, the names are Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Garuda Purana, Narada Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Agni Purana, Skanda Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Markandeya Purana, Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, Matsya Purana, Kuna Purana, Brahmanda Purana. These are all 18 Mahapuranas. And the person who hears and hears this, really he becomes Brahma Tejasvi. He becomes like a very, very shining personality. And when Shaunakadi Rishi discussed about this about Puranas, they suddenly become curious to know about a great personality. His name is Markandeya. Suddenly they wanted to know this great, and his story comes in all Puranas, the Markandeya Rishi, how he became so much famous. And we hear that he was moving in Pralaya Jala. In Pralaya Jala everything is destroyed, but he is in Pralaya. How it is possible? Pralaya means all living entities should die. But how come? How come a person is in Pralaya Jala is moving? And we know that the Markandeya Rishi is within this Kalpa, and within this Kalpa there is no such big Pralaya never took place. So how it has happened? We are just trying to ask. Very interesting. Because Markandeya Rishi is very famous. He is there from the first Manvantara, from beginning of creation. And they are all asking about him in the 7th Manvantara. Because this Markandeya Rishi is so famous that he started doing his prayers and meditation from the first Manvantara. So his prayers continued for 6 Manvantaras, and 7th Manvantara happened. And the whole thing happened, the great event of this Pralaya, illusion, everything happened in the 7th Manvantara. So they were asking. So he was a very, very austere person, and by his great austerity he even defeated the death. That's why all the devotees they become so much attached to Markandeya Rishi, because Markandeya Rishi, by holding Lord Shiva, he could even defy the death. That way it has happened. So crores of years was doing tapasya, and even everybody got stunned. So, oh, we never saw somebody doing so many Manvantaras. One Manvantara is 71 Yuga Chakras. So 71 Yuga Chakras into 6, and the 7th is going. Even Brahma, Bhrigu, Shiva, Daksha, Brahma, Tanya, everybody really got stunned. Wow, he's a specialty person. He's a great person. We never saw somebody doing such a tapasya which is going for yugas, and Manvantaras. And in that way, 6 Manvantaras passed, and the 7th Manvantara also came. And as I mentioned, in every Manvantara, Indra will change. So in the first 6 Manvantaras, no Indra got perturbed. But in 7th Manvantara, one Indra was there, he got perturbed. And oh, he is doing so much tapasya, so one day he may become Indra. So he became very fearful. So then he made a good attempt, and he asked Manmada, hey Manmada, Gandharva, all Vasantarutu, some Apsaras, please go along with Mada, Lobha, everything, and see that somehow his tapasya is disturbed. This is mine. So they all went to Markandeya Rishi Ashrama, that is in Himalayas, Uttara Parshva, and they immediately created so much nice atmosphere that Vasanta Rutu entered, the all cuckoos singing and peacocks dancing, so nice music, everybody beautiful. And Manmada also entered, and Punjikastali, Punjikastali and one Apsarasa entered there, started dancing and moving here and there, and meanwhile the nice breeze came. Because of the breeze and because of her dancing and playing with the kanduka, her dress became loose, and because of the breeze, her sarees, everything flied off and she became naked. Nothing happened. All things happened to them, but for Markandeya nothing happened. And all people started feeling that they are going to be burnt. He is not showing any anger. He was just closed his eyes, his meditations constant doing, and they felt that by his power they are slowly diminishing. Their energy is going down and their life is also going down. They felt, and they said, okay, there is no point in staying here and it is dangerous to stay here. They all just packed up everything and rushed back. We see that this is the great, we can say the person who is not affected by Manmatha and also not affected by all these Punjikastali is this great Markandeya Rishi. And the another great personality is Narayan Rishi. Narayan Rishi also, when they doing the dancing, when they were doing tapasya, because Narayan Rishi is essentially Lord's incarnation to demonstrate the tapasya. Tapasya, Indra also sent people and they started. And at that time, Narayan Rishi, they have created so many apsaras from his body. Are you are coming to seduce me or attract me, but I have so many in my body, unlimited I can produce. So he has created so many apsarasas, and in that Urvashi is one of his. He said, okay, I have so many, you please choose whomever you want and take it. He has given. Forget about you coming and attracting me. You take from. So they all chose Urvashi and went out. So here is also a great personality who is a devotee of Narayana, that is Markandeya Rishi. He also demonstrated such a strong power of willpower, controlling power. And when the Manmatha and all the people went back to Swarga and told Indra that Brahmarshi Markandeya is invincible, impossible to really attract him. And Indra became stunned. And meanwhile, by his great tapasya for so many kalpas, Narayana Rishi, Narayana, Supreme Lord, appeared in front of him. And Markandeya Rishi immediately got up and paid Dandavat Pranams. He said, Namaha, Namaha, Namo Namaha, Namo Namaha. And he offered Arkapadya, Vastra, all the worshipping items. And they said, Markandeya, we are very much pleased by your Brahmacharya. We are completely satisfied. And we want to give you whatever you want, whatever desire, whatever goal you have, you please ask me. We will give you. Let everything happen very auspicious to you. Then Markandeya Rishi asked very interestingly that, my dear Supreme Lord, Jai Jaikar, let all glories to you, all glories to you. And you will remove all the miseries of the people who surrender unto you. And I know your audience itself is the biggest boon. I am fully satisfied by your darshan, but I wanted to, I know one thing. By the power of your Maya, everybody in the world, from the demigods to everybody, differentiation, you and me, that is your power, that is your Maya. I want to see that Maya. Because I never experienced that one. I never experienced Maya, what is that, myself, yourself. And I heard that by your Maya, everybody, all demigods, everybody feels the Bheda Bhava. I want to see that, how it looks like. Very surprising. Okay, let it be so. So Naranarayana mentioned, let it be so, and he went off. So when he went off, he was just waiting, okay, let me see what is that Maya, because anyway Lord said, and he was just passing on time, and in his same meditation, and one day he completed his Sandhya Vandan, because evening happened, Sandhya Vandan happened, and suddenly there was a big breeze, all of big breeze started, and saw that the entire sky is covered with overcast, dark clouds. Every whole area become dark, very, and started pouring unlimited just. And within no time saw that all oceans started overflowing and submerging the entire. So happened that entire earth is submerged in water. And here and he's saying, the Markandeya Rishi is saying that everything is getting submerged and inundated and destroyed. His ashram also got submerged, and he also started flowing. All animals, living entities, everybody is dead. Only he is left over. And wherever you see, only water, no earth, no nothing, only water. And he is floating, he is not dying, and he is seeing that everything is annihilated, only water. And everything, all the 14 planet system, everything is there. He is moving in the water. He is fearful, it is dark, and he is hungry, he is tired, and he became like a dumb, moving, and he did not know which side is what. And in this way, it appeared that crores of years passed, and he was just moving. Suddenly, he saw an island. So far, he has been seeing only water. Suddenly, he saw an island. Oh, surprising, some island is there. Okay, at least I can go on to that. When he was moving closer to that, he saw a tree on that. An island is there, a beautiful tree was there. And that is Vatavriksha. And when he was coming more closer to that, he saw on the Vatavriksha, on a leaf, one small boy. A small boy was there. Vatapatrashai. Oh, such a beautiful boy. And that boy was a very child, and he is holding his leg with his hands. So he is holding his hand, and he is sucking his toe with his hold and keeping in the mouth. So it's like a circle, like a boy is like this. So his leg is in the mouth, so his toe is mouth. Surprising. Oh, he said, how come this entire universe is filled up and it's like this? He went closer to it. The moment he went in closer, the boy who was sucking was just trying to see that a boy on a leaf, and the boy breathing was there, the Uchvasa and Ishvasa. Uchvasa in that he just went into his nose like a mosquito. By his breathing, he went inside. He went inside that boy and saw inside, surprising, whole universe is as it is. Whole universe is as it is, nothing, all his ashram is there, and all planetary system, everything is there. Whether that is true, whether this is true, while thinking like this, by Nishvasa, again he came out and fell again in the water. Again he fell in the water, again troubles. At that time, then the boy on that, so far he has not seen him, that boy started looking like this on this. So far he has not seen the Markandeya, but he saw him once like this. The moment he saw him, oh, he became more attracted. Oh, this boy is looking at me. So he went closer to him to catch. The moment he went close, he just disappeared. When he disappeared, he just suddenly opened eyes. No water, nothing, same ashram, everything fine. Everything is normal, same Sandhya, evening time, everything. Oh, then he just closed his toes, his hands, and paid obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wow, such a great, what is Maya means? He has practically shown, and he started praying to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one day he was just he got the experience what is meant by Maya. Continued for several crores of years as well. So, and when he was one day started meditating, Lord Shiva and Parvati, they were flying, they were just going in the sky on a bull, on their bull carrier. So they saw beautiful ashram, and the devotee, he is now a great devotee of Krishna. So everybody knows whole world, Markandeya is a great Rishi. So then Parvati said to Lord Shiva, oh, is nice Vaishnava is there, why don't you give him some boons? So you see how the moment you become devoted to Krishna, all demigods, they become more favorable. Oh, let us give him some good boons. So Parvati said to Shiva, oh, nice Vaishnava is there, why can't we go there and bless him, give some boons? Give him the best boon. He said, okay, let us go. So both of them came down. But Markandeya Rishi was in so deep trance that he doesn't know what is happening. Both Lord Shiva and Parvati, they came down, they came and stood in front of, but here this Vaishnava is complete meditation. They don't know how to do that. Then Lord Shiva slowly entered into his mind. He entered into his mind, and when he was meditating on Parabrahman, he saw on his mind somebody else, Lord Shiva. Hey, who is this? He has come. So Markandeya was stunned. I was meditating on Supreme Personality. How come Lord Shiva has come? So when he opened his eyes, he saw, okay. So it was that deep. And Shiva said, okay, we came. So you see, Markandeya, we are myself, Brahma, and Vishnu. We are the best, the boon giving personalities, and one should not show any difference between me and Lord Krishna and Brahma, and they should not show any differentiation between living entities also, and you are such a devotee, and we want to give you good boon because we are very happy with you. Then Markandeya Rishi said, okay, I want bhakti, I want devotion towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and also the Bhagavat Parayana devotees, those who are attached to Supreme Lord, and also about you also I want unlimited, undivided devotion. And he was asked, and then at that time Lord Shiva was very pleased. Yes, okay, I am granting all these things. At the same time, you will not be having Jara Marana till end of this Kalpa. Means now you are on the 7th Manvantara. Remaining 7 Manvantara also you will be having any death, any old age, and you will be having Punya Isha. All the 14 Manvantaras, people will remember you. People will glorify you. And because of your strong devotion, strong control on the senses, and strong austerity, and your auspiciousness, and your yash, your glories will be remembered. That way he has given boon and left. And also Lord Shiva has given him the Purana. That's why we see that in any Purana we will find Markandeya Rishi. And by the mercy of Lord Shiva, by the blessings of Lord Shiva, Markandeya Rishi is still there, and whoever hears this Markandeya Purana Katha, and he will never be fallen into samsara. Samsara is what Sutta Goswami has given. And Sutta Goswami also further saying that this Bhagavatam, which is giving such a has given great deliverance to Parikshit Maharaj, was originally told by Krishna to Brahma. Originally told by Krishna to Brahma. When he told, Brahma was completely under tense. Brahma was completely fearful what to do, because he was in the midst of the complete water. He was completely fearful. At that time the Bhagavatam was given. So the moment he got Bhagavatam, he became fearless. So the Bhagavatam is essentially to give you fearlessness, and it was first given by Krishna himself to Brahmadev. And this Bhagavatam is full of stories. For example, we have been hearing 100 stories, full of stories and histories, itihasas, which will create a great attraction for Krishna and great detachment from the material world. And it's called Sarva Vedanta Sarami Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate. And complete Vedanta ka sar hi hai Srimad Bhagavatam. And the only one purpose of Bhagavatam is Ekanta Bhakti, the one-pointed attention towards Krishna. That is the essence of it. And whoever donates Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadrapada Purnima, whoever donates Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadrapada Purnima, keeping Bhagavatam on a golden throne, they will straight away go to Vaikuntha. Simply by giving Bhagavatam. Take Bhagavatam, Bhadrapada Purnima, put on a golden throne and give it to a most qualified Brahmana with all attention. That's it, you will go back to that. Nothing. Such powerful. And that's why it is called Grantharaj, Purana Raj. Why it is called? Because of this. Simply by donating itself, you will go to spiritual. That's why the Bhagavatam should be worshipped on a golden throne. Shukadeva, the Sutta Goswami was mentioning that. And people may be talking about various Puranas in a big assembly. That will continue only up to extent that Bhagavatam is not introduced. The moment Bhagavatam is introduced, all the discussions will get pushed apart. All the scriptures will go out and Bhagavatam will become permanent topic of discussion. And that's why the moment you start hearing Bhagavatam, complete auspiciousness spread on the entire earth. And remaining all scriptures become very dull and null and void. And that's why it is called Srimad Bhagavatam is Vedanta Sara. And that any person who is attracted towards this Bhagavatam will never be attracted towards any other scripture. As the Ganges is great of all rivers, as Lord Shiva is the great Vaishnava of all Vaishnavas, and as Achyuta is the greatest of all Daivatas, and similarly Srimad Bhagavatam is the top of all Puranas. So similarly, of all Tirtha Kshetras, Kashi is Purana, Kashi is great. Similarly, Bhagavata is great of all Puranas, we should understand. And this Bhagavata is originally for only Paramahamsas. Paramahamsas means, the Paramahamsa means who can, Hamsa will, if you put the milk and water together in a pot, it can drink milk and leave water there. Super perfect membrane system is there, so it can take out. So similarly, even from this worst material world, they will the Paramahamsa exactly they take Supreme Personality from that. That's why they are called Paramahamsa. And it is essentially the Paramahamsa Samhita. A Paramahamsa Samhita, and it is very dear to all Vaishnavas. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranamamanam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahamsamekam Amalam Gnanam Param Kiyate Tatra Gnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkutam Tashunvan Supatan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimuchye Naraha. So the people who are hearing, then reading, then contemplating devotion, they will be Vimuchye Naraha. Such person will be liberated without any doubt. Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he started saying the Supreme Personality of God, who has been abundantly in abundance, he has been narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam, and he said that, my dear Supreme Lord, let me have your devotion life after life, Sutta Goswami. And also finally he said, by glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha Tam Namami Harim Param. So he said that by whose name Sankirtan all the sins are completely destroyed, by simply unto whom by paying obeisances all miseries are completely destroyed. Unto Supreme Lord Sri Krishna I am paying my obeisances. So the Goswami just narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam concluded in this way and glorified to his heart's content and became satisfied.